Okay, well, it's another day, so let's carry on with our kitchen here. I'm in the middle of pulling out these two pantries that I recently built. I need to push this fridge out of the way, and I'm gonna have to install my top rail in order to start hanging these boxes. Top rails are laying right here. I'm gonna have to read the instructions again to refamiliarize myself with these. Uh, I did find the legs. So now I'm going to have an idea what height. The whole point of this is to go as close to that bulkhead as possible, but without making the gap so big that it'll look stupid once I put the baseboard down. So I'm going to have to sort of try to find a happy medium. I got to install that rail, and then I got to make it so that I can pick the box up, go up, over, and into the rail. So that's my challenge for today. Also, if I'm feeling ambitious, which I'm gonna try, it might not work, that electrical outlet has to be moved because pantries are gonna be here. It has to be moved this way where the fridge is gonna be. So, since I work quite slow, there's probably a day's worth of work there. So let's get started, see what we get to. Okay, I've got my rail hung, and what I did is I measured the foot. I brought the foot as big as I thought it should be, and I added those dimensions. So that leaves me a little clearance to the top. Still a little bit of wiggle room. I can come back, put a piece of trim later maybe. What I'm going to do now is I have to relocate this electrical outlet. So I'm going to take my oscillating tool. I'm going to cut a little channel in here. I try to move this outlet and re-snake this wire so that the outlet is not behind the pantries. I get this done, gonna hang these pantries and carry on. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, well, I got my electrical moved. I'm just going to quickly patch this up and put a wall plate on that junction, and I'm gonna start hanging these boxes. Okay, well, here's the pantries hung up on the wall. A little hard to see. The kitchen's small, it's hard to get everything in. So there's the two pantries hung on the rail. I'm gonna come back now and put the feet on. The instructions said to put the feet on first, but it's impossible to lay this down. I just picked it up and hung it. I'm gonna put the feet on the front, and hopefully my gap is not too big there. Anyway, I'm not 100% sure if I've got the right cabinet here. I would have thought this cabinet would have been wider because the fridge appears to be wider, or maybe the fridge is the same width as the cabinet. I'm not sure. I know that the planner factored in for spacers, because I do have to space this out because although it's not here yet, there's a little bit of a piece that's going to come out here. It's basically going to be a base cabinet. I'm going to make it, it's basically a base cabinet with one of their wine kit sections, and I've decided to join, it's kind of my idea, I've decided to join those two together. We're going to make like a little mini breakfast bar, enough for a couple of stools. And obviously because this is going to be here, this has to be shimmied down a bit, so they did allow for quite a few spacers. So for now, I'm going to leave these hung. I'm going to put the feet on for a little added support. Although that rail system is fantastic. I was able to, I've got at least 5 screws in the full piece up there, and I used 3-inch screws, and they're right into the studs, so that should be really good. I do want to shuffle this down a bit because my little end cabinet, this is sort of supposed to be on the very end, and the old telephone jack from the 70s. Now, I kind of thought at first that that would be all camouflaged, but I'm gonna have to patch this up. So obviously I gotta, although I painted and sanded, I'm gonna have to come back and fill this sand, mud, prime paint. But so be it. Or maybe I can shuffle this down enough this way that I will cover this up with the fridge, because I didn't want there to be any big gaps here. This is sort of supposed to be on the end. Sorry. This little cabinet is supposed to be somewhat on the end. So maybe everything could be shuffled down a bit. Then again, it does block a little bit of the entryway here. So maybe it would be better if it was pushed this way a bit. Just don't want to make it look dumb. It's supposed to look all built in, so it should be, unless I went like this. Just don't mind me here, I'm just thinking out loud. But if this is going to be my next step, I got to put a piece of railing up here. I think I'd have time to do this today. I could have put a piece of railing up there to hang this little cabinet. And yeah, maybe this could work. It would sort of, it crunches everything this way, but it makes so that the opening is not cramped, because I'm going to have a cabinet here, and I'm going to have a cabinet here. And it was, I remember according to her drawing, it was, you know, on the verge of being, any tighter would have been too much. So not going to put the locking tabs in place now. I'm leaving this all nice and loose. So I can shuffle, I can shimmy those back and forth. That's the beauty of the Ikea system. And eventually, of course, I'm going to clamp these. I'm going to screw them together. Not sure if this requires a spacer or not. I don't think so. This one definitely will. In fact, I hope I got the right cabinet. It is a fridge cabinet, because they always have that cutout up there. But there's another one that looks very similar. I believe that one's a bit deeper, and it's for the, I think it's going to be for the microwave range hood. Anyway, okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to install a piece of rail over here, hang this cabinet, get those feet on, like I said. Okay, well, you just saw me put these pantries up, and this piece above the fridge. Normally I would carry on here. I've got this not locked in, like I said, but it's free to slide from side to side. Normally at this time I would start putting the large vertical pieces to do the finished edge, and that's the piece over here. I've got two of them. That's what those are. And they can be sliced to length and inserted. One will go here. A large one will go here. But the issue that I'm having is that this upper cabinet is slightly narrower than my fridge. So I don't know if that's the wrong one up there. Like I mentioned before, I don't have all of my boxes. This was about $6,000 worth. I've got about 2,000 more coming on back order. I think this is the one that goes here, but I'm not 100% sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off on this wall for now, and I'm going to turn my attention to this little section of wall back here. And I've just emptied everything. Everything is empty. Because I'm doing this all in sections, got this part done for now. I'm gonna concentrate on here, and I'm gonna do a little bit of demo. Up here, there's a corner unit that's gonna go here, the piece for the microwave range hood, and then a skinny cabinet on the end. And those are right here. Skinny cabinet on the end, microwave range hood, or the cabinet above the microwave range hood on its side. And this is the large unit that will be the corner. This is the corner piece. So I think for now, I'm gonna set this up, a little bit of fast motion, and I'm gonna demo this upper part. It looks pretty sturdy, so I think I've got my work cut out here. Okay. Okay, well, this took no time at all. We got this back wall gutted. I even jumped in and I got most of the tile down. So, took a little bit of this down too. Let's throw up some rails and hang a couple boxes, see what this looks like. Okay. Okay, well, it's the next day. I've got my rail up and 2 sections. I had to do a little bit of patching on the ceiling there, but I think that'll mostly be concealed. I'm not sure about the height, because these cupboards are meant to go all the way to the top. So, but of course I've got to leave a small gap in order to lift them up over and onto the hook. So I'm not really sure. This is a bit of a trial. It was different on this wall because this wall has the bulkhead, and that's the bulkhead there. And the gap at the top of the bulkhead is not going to be the same as this gap, and that's because these are full-length cabinets, and they are what they are. And that's the tallest I could find to fit this opening. And I also got to respect the height of the legs. I'm sitting at almost 6 inches here, which I think the baseboard, I don't have my baseboards yet, and I don't remember what they are. I think they might be 5, so I think I've raised those as much as I could. I think it's going to be okay. Plan for right now is I'm going to set up the fast motion, and I'm going to attempt to hang the boxes that belong here. I am also going to have to do something with this electrical. This electrical will have to be raised up to here in order for me to plug in my microwave, because the stove is going to be here with the microwave range hood just above. So this has to be done, but for now I just want to try to hang the boxes, see if I can do it, see if they look half decent, and see if this gap is okay. Anyway, let's get started on those.
Check
Okay, well, you just saw me put those boxes up, and I tried a few doors just to make sure that that wasn't too close to the ceiling, and I think it's okay. I think it's kind of as close as we want to be, hopefully. And I think the doors will be, well, I'll be able to mount the doors, and they'll be able to hinge open no problem without scraping on the ceiling. I think that's going to work. What I'm going to do right now, I got this area cleared out underneath here. I'm going to do just a little bit of demo in that corner. I'm going to start making room for where the stove's going to go. And so yeah, let's get rid of these old doors, maybe a section of that counter. See what happens here. Okay, well, I'm going to call this the end of part 2. So what I finished here, where that outlet was, I decided to use that as a junction box, and I extended the wiring up here. In this vicinity, that's going to be the plug-in for the microwave. I had talked about doing this one, but I think it's best to leave that as a counter plug. This one here was going to be buried anyway. So, because there's going to be a cabinet here. So I think for now, I'm going to call this the end of part 2. I got this little trench filled in. This is just roughed in up there. There's no outlet. And obviously my cabinet, when I do some more finalizing, I will have to measure and then cut a hole in this box. But for now, I'm going to call this one done. Somewhere in this vicinity will be the plug for the microwave range hood. End of part 2. I think I'm going to start again tomorrow. I may just, I don't know if you can see that, there's a cabinet here. There's the old microwave range hood. There's a little section of countertop. I might attack this tomorrow. Take this down, maybe lop off a section of that counter, get rid of the rest of those tiles, and I can progress. I can hang a cabinet up here, and eventually the stove has to be relocated over there, down here somewhere. I do have the electrical in that. I think I have an idea for how I'm going to run the wire from where the stove was to the new location. Okay, well, that's all for now. Until the next time. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.